Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 54 in the series, and in this episode I'd like to head up to the Cumbrian coast, well, a bit of it anyway, to get the line from the West Coast main line over to Barrow-in-Furness build. I want to do that for a while, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to actually put the Class 37 with some Mark II carriages just to reflect what happened in around, I think it was about 2015, when Northern was really struggling for DMUs and put on that loco haul service. I think it was just an interesting period in time. I know we're in 2022 now, but I think I would just like to put that on for a while. We're currently on board this Arriva train as well, so Transport for Wales rail service from Wrexham Central to Bidston. We're currently at Wrexham General. You just saw the 67 with the Mark IVs going past there because we put them on a few episodes back. It's not doing too badly actually, this service. It does get quite busy. I think actually we're leaving a few people behind. I only put two car trains on this service with a 6-minute or 7-minute frequency. I'm a bit hesitant to put any more on just because of what I explained about the signal, the track. The way the track is here is it goes down to a single track into Wrexham Central, and these two stations act as block sections. So if a train comes, or let's say a train's in Central and a train's coming down the track, it will be released into Wrexham General, and there's the potential for a bit of a conflict there. So I'm trying to keep the trains spaced out as far as possible on that route, despite them being quite busy. So yeah, that's the Wrexham Bidston line. Done a little bit of work with the terrain, just smoothing and whatnot. Well, I need to do a little bit more. I think that looks a little bit ugly, but done some terrain work anyway, and tried to do my best with Bidston because Bidston is below sea level, so we're starting to get sand and water trying to come in. I tried to do a little bit of smoothing and we ended up with water on top of the tracks, so I've done my best to try and make it look as tidy as possible, but yeah, it doesn't look amazing if I'm honest. But yeah, it's Hamilton Square, 40 people waiting. That's not too bad. 20 people waiting to go to the direction of Wrexham. I doubt this is making money, which is not. But yeah, that's all in place now, which is good. Birkenhead is absolutely enormous. I think Birkenhead is, well, it's almost as big as Liverpool, which obviously isn't in real life, I don't think. But yeah, what's Liverpool doing? It's dropping. Why is it going down? I'm not sure. Something must have. Maybe we weren't supplying enough. Oh, yeah, that's going up there. We must have been supplying enough oil for some reason. But not to worry. We're heading up. Where we're heading up? We're heading up here somewhere. So we've got Preston, and we redid Preston a while ago. It's not kind of really super accurate. Couldn't see any bay platforms for the service that I'm about to put in, but it will just have to call onto one of these. And have I put a switch in? I've put a switch in on this platform. So what have I done? Oh yeah, so we've got the main core West Coast mainline services will come onto these two platforms, and then we do have provision here, which is still a through platform, but we can reverse services on there, as we see Transpennine Express Class 350 motoring up towards Lancaster. Now the actual junction for Barrow-in-Furness is somewhere between Oxenholme and Lancaster's Carnforth, around here somewhere. Not particularly complicated, I don't think. It's just having a quick look at the map. So we've got something a bit. What we're doing, it's pretty flat, so we should be all right. So we've got two tracks coming off. Doesn't want to go down, just nice and level like that. Is it catenary? No. And I'm on third rail track there. That's not a good start. Right, try that again. Catenary? No. Good. So that goes. Well, let's just try it. What's that done that for? So that goes into there. Let me just have a quick look at the map. Yeah, it's not massively important that we get it completely accurate, but I would like it to be at least a little bit accurate. So if that comes off there, I think I'm on a reasonable speed. I think the Class 37s, was it top speed of 90 or something? So we want to be able to try and maintain that speed. So we've got that just a little bit too far away. Maybe something like that. I want it to snap next door just take a quick look at this. That looks alright, it's not glitching, is it? That's all fine. No, that's fine. It's all fine, it's good. And then into there like that, and then we do have, so the up services going towards Preston would go wrong line for a while and then switch onto there. So we want a couple of signals on this bit. I need to check actually, just make sure. Yeah, there's no other signals on this block section, so that's fine. And then we obviously need a signal there to protect that switch as the train runs wrong line down here, and we'll put a signal on there. He's going to run wrong line down here and then switch over, and the signal there to protect that. So that's all fine, relatively straightforward. I think I just want to quickly get rid of all this road here. This is just going to get in the way. I will have to replace this obviously, because Barrow-in-Furness does need a road connection. I might actually improve the roads around here anyway, but I'll get rid of all this. What I want to do is I want to prioritise the rail, and then I'll put the road back in afterwards. It's just going to cause too many issues, because we have got some tricky terrain to work around anyway. So the line comes up and weaves its way around here. There's like a loop that bypasses Barrow-in-Furness, and then there's a track comes into its station and then curves back out again and links up. But I'm just going to put the track straight into Barrow, just to keep things straightforward. I have put the steelworks in there because I think that's what Barrow's famous for, isn't it? But I haven't actually connected it up to anything. So I just want to take a quick look at the map, because I haven't interrogated it that much. I just want to see where the actual line goes. Okie dokie, so it weaves it, so there's two bridges. So I think I've built this a bit too far north, because I would like, again, just to put a little bit of a bridge in. So I'm going to do some terrain work around here. So I'm just going to extend that out, join that up. For some reason that wasn't joined up. I'm going to make that a little bit more pointy, because it's supposed to be like the end of the estuary. Flatten all that off a little bit. And then I think I'm just going to move this junction a little bit further south, just as it's really just an excuse to have a bridge over that little bit there, just so it's a little bit more realistic, but it won't take 2 seconds to rebuild this junction. Okie dokie, so we've rebuilt that junction, and now we just want to get this track over to, was it Arnside, I want to call it. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but it's something like that. And I think actually, even with this being a bit further north, I think we are pretty much just crossing this for the sake of it, I think. But yeah, I think we'll interrogate the map again. We'll get Google Maps up this time, and we'll go on side, and we'll just have a look at maps, because that's what I didn't do, is just have a quick look at the satellite. I'm guessing it's going to be a girder bridge, isn't it? Not a girder bridge. Is it a girder bridge? Truss bridge is, I think, the one I'm looking for. And again, actually looking at Google Maps, I don't think it's that. I think it's just like, well, I'm not sure what, I should know, but I can't quite think what the bridge is called. But once we get it up, I will have a look. So I want to bring this down a little bit. Yeah, we'll have to do some terrain work there. Maybe just up a little bit, and then we'll go straight across here, keeping it level. And it wants to be just like a beam bridge, isn't it? It's something like that. I think that looks possibly a little bit too modern. I think maybe if we even go for that one, looks a bit older, sort of, because it's the first kind of bridge that you get, isn't it? The first modern looking bridge that you get in the game. I don't think there's anything here. No, I think the span's on that absolutely enormous, which is not really what we want. It's not a girder bridge, I know that, a box girder. So I think it will have to be that one. I think it looks like it's got a bit of a curve on it though, unfortunately. So what we'll do is bring this over here, curve it in, bring it up a little bit, and then if we just go straight across, straight and level, so that looks alright. Yeah, that's something like that with that bridge there. I think that doesn't look, to me, although I know Google Maps may be not the best reference, but it doesn't look like a truss bridge to me. So after that it goes swings around quite sharply towards Grangeover Sands. Now I think I did actually originally put Grangeover Sands on the map, but then took it off because I had to really pare back the map, because there was just there were far too many towns on it, so it does hug the coast a little bit, but I would like to maintain the speed, so I did have to really cut back on some of the towns, and we just ended up with Barrow, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think we're on a viaduct of any description, do we? Maybe if we just skirt around that little bit, maybe if we're going a bit further inland than we were. Yeah, so if we skirt just past the coast there, and then it doesn't go right round this, I guess you'd call it a peninsula, I think. I don't think it wants to be in a tunnel, does it? I don't think so. It just wants to be like that, and then it does kind of bypasses that a little bit, goes back north. So I think if we try to maintain 90 miles per hour, I think that will do good. That will be alright, rather. Do good. Let's try and speak English. 60, I will take 60, because it is quite a curvaceous route anyway, and then actually that's the bridge is sort of in the right orientation then. Again, we'll go with this concrete bridge here, I think, because it definitely doesn't look like a steel bridge, I don't think, or at least not a girder bridge like I said before. And then it does actually go quite a bit far inland, so that's good. So we can, yeah, 70. I think 70 is alright, that's not too bad, because it goes inland for a little bit, just making sure we haven't got any really sort of big viaducts. I don't think it's needed around here. And then there, yeah, so it comes down here. It's quite straight, well, not that strange really, but oh no, we've done a tunnel. I don't think we want a tunnel, do we? Don't think there are any tunnels. So it comes down, starts coming down in the direction of, no, we don't want a tunnel, coming down in the direction of Barrow-in-Furness, like that, and then it almost does like a V, so there's like, it does a sharp, just almost like 100-degree turn, and then heads back up towards Askham, Kirby, Inverness, but we are just doing the track into Barrow, so we'll just do keep it a little bit curvaceous, because it is quite a curvaceous route, like I just said, which, yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. The speeds are alright, and then we've got to try and get in a station in Barrow somehow, so let's do a little bit of demolition. It's going to come down here, it's going to have to do a real hard turn into Barrow. I don't think Barrow is actually a curved station either, so buildings, I'm not sure if it's modern. Yeah, the station looks relatively good. What are we going? 160 metres. So the track's coming down. I think it will just have to be over here a little bit. Catenary, no. High-speed tracks. Number of tracks just 1 for now, because we are going to configure it, obviously, to make it a little bit more accurate. I think it looks to me like it's from about the 1960s or something, the station. So we do have a platform there, but we'll stick with the modern. It looks to me that it has an underpass, because I can't see any sort of steps. Any stairs? Sort of steps? No steps. So passenger cargo platforms. What do we have here? We do have the modern looking platforms. What are they? Because I don't think I've ever used them. I've only ever used the UK ones. Is that those ones there? So I think if we go with something like that, although, yeah, let's just stick with that, I think, down there. Keep it simple. And then canopies, where are you? Where do you live? You live down there. Was it in Misk? Oh, it's in Misk. Right, so, good. Passenger, where do the standard underpasses live? Actually, saying that, the NL platform segments, which I do prefer using actually, do have, yes, that's going to get rid of the building, I know, but never mind. The NL platforms do, for some reason I thought they didn't have an underpass, but of course they do. So, platform down there, and then an island platform like that. So, not as complicated as I was making it out to be. And then in Misk we do have an underpass, and we'll have it there with, oh yeah, that needs some track in a minute anyway, and then it's got some sort of canopy roof thing down the middle. And did I put any benches in? I'll put some benches in the middle as well, like so. If I put one on that side, yeah, that's all fine. And then obviously it just needs some track, non-electrified, high-speed tracks down the middle. Now, really, it doesn't need, can anyone see the big massive arrow that I've done? It doesn't need all 3 platforms, because it is literally just going to be the Class 37 service back and forth. But we'll put in, yeah, we may as well try and make it as accurate as possible. So let's let's try that again, this time with the actual with the correct platforms all in place. Let's put the tracks in first, down there, good, and then MISC, we want to put the bench on that side, and then underpass, just so it's all even and symmetrical, and then just put that in down there. Passenger building is that, and then the building is from the 1960s, so it isn't the modern building, which is the other end of the menu. It doesn't look anything like one of these, but I think to put the others on probably wouldn't be accurate. So yeah, oh, that's got the clock on it. Good. So that's all fine. Now what shall I do? What I'll do actually is, I think this platform here is probably a turn back facility for, I think there are some services which do just go to Barrow and then turn back and head up the Cumbrian coast possibly, but in this particular instance we're not putting that on, but we're going to curve that out to there, put a little bit of track in to there, and too much curve. Let's try that again. Track, bring that down. Oh, now what's it doing now? Definitely not happy with what I was trying to do then, was it? So yeah, put that on there, and then we're going to put on a fake station which wants to be 160, should be more than long enough. I think the loco haul service that operated, number of tracks, yeah, that's all fine. The loco haul service that operated on this track, that's one way, yeah, was 4 cars altogether. It was 3, I think they were using Mark II carriages, I think, with a DBSO on the back, making 4 altogether. So just smooth that off a little bit there, a little bit of smoothing there, and that actually is all pretty straightforward. I thought this was going to be more difficult than it actually was. Does it want an intermediate? Preston's down here. I'm thinking I'm going to put 3 on, so there's going to be, I think that should be enough signals actually for that service. So it's going to be Preston, wherever that is, what's that, Lancaster, Barrow, and then just head outside of Barrow, back into Lancaster, and then Preston. Obviously this needs to be, oh, it's already set it to the right platform, which is good. It's just complaining at Lancaster for some reason. What's it trying to do? Heading into Lancaster shouldn't be an issue. The issue is at Barrow. Barrow is fine. Right, so we're coming out of Barrow, that's connected into that, so it's saying somewhere between Barrow and Carnforth there is an issue, but there shouldn't be. Oh, there is. There's track missing, that's why. That's not going to help. Littlest tiny bit of track, so is that hasn't fixed it. Let's keep investigating. Maybe I've left some other little bits. I know the interface with the West Coast Main Line is a little bit unusual, but it shouldn't be an issue. Maybe that signal can't be one way, so let's maybe try that. Nope, because that can be one way, because that's just that one line. It's running wrong line down there, isn't it? Is it connected? Yeah, that definitely should be a one-way signal. I'm pretty sure it should be, because we're heading down that way. Maybe, I can't see that being the issue, to be honest, but unless, so it's coming down here. I think it must be the turn back facility at Preston maybe, which is the issue. So we're coming down on the up line, going towards Preston. Actually, we'll make this bright orange, and we should just be able to go. Maybe this signal here cannot be one way maybe, so we'll try and adjust that. Nope, still not happy with something. Not quite sure what it's not happy with. It's definitely, yeah, that's the bright orange route, so it's coming off the platform. That's terminals, platform number 2, and that, what are you, Avanti, Oxenholme, you shouldn't be on there anyway. You should be on platform number 5. And why? Where's the, what have I done? It looks like so that's broken now. So the up service is going to be number 4. So you should be on number 6. Yeah. Something's broken now. I don't know. Oh, that's working again. Nope. He's not happy. It's not happy. I don't know what it's not happy about, but it's not happy. What have I done here? Let's take a look at this. Oh, yeah, that's why. So 4 should be on 2 after all. Good. so we are going to have a little bit of an issue with this platform, but it's not hugely busy anyway, is it? As long as nothing's on platform 1. Good. Now let's go back over the Cumbrian route. Let's see if we've done something to upset it. So it's trying to do things. It's going onto that platform there. Let's check the terminals. Going on to platform number 2 on the return. That's all good. Oh, it's working to an extent now. Where's it? Have I got to put in? Am I going to have to put in a waypoint just to try and force it back onto the correct track again? Because there's a switch in there which should make it go onto the right track. So maybe if I put a trigger in there, a waypoint rather. So looks at Barrow-in-Furness North, Lancaster. Has that fixed it? That's fixed it. And there's Lancaster. I thought that was already on the right platforms though. Mustn't have been. I mustn't have checked those, which are probably the first thing I should have done, isn't it really? Terminals. Good. Sorted, I think. So I think in the middle I just want an intermediate block section, I think, just because it is going to, with this service, it's going to obviously get a little bit busier on this route, so we'll put an intermediate block in there. I normally like to have my signals, I know it doesn't really matter, in front of the catenary mast, just for the viewpoint more than anything. I know it doesn't really matter on the game, but I just do like to do that. Have I got 2 signals there? I think I'll have another intermediate block section around here again. I've done it the wrong way around. Intermediate block somewhere roughly in the middle into Preston, and that should all be good. And let's just have a quick look. What comes after? Is there a station after Barrow? Askham. Has Askham got a station? It has. So I think what I will do is just rename that. It doesn't really matter again, but Askham. We may as well put that in there. So let's get if we've got a depot, where are we? We're in Wigan, that's a bit too far south. Up north, Preston. I think, where do I want? I think actually I'll put the depot on here, why not? So I think if I put it here, we can run trains south, and then buildings, and obviously that catenary no, just chuck a little siding in there, and then that done. A little bit of smoothing and a little bit of paint as well, just on whenever I put a junction in. I always just do a little bit of paint on it just to make it a little bit of detailing, tiniest amount of detailing, just makes it look a little bit better, I think, and a bit more smoothing. Yeah, that was a lot more straightforward than I thought it was going to be, but it should be quite an interesting route down. And like I said, I am going to put on the 37, so I'll do that now. So what I was envisaging was, I've actually had to resubscribe to these because I unsubscribed to them, just to kind of save on the number of files that I had. So I think it was DRS, Direct Rail Service 37, and then it was a Mark II again. Possibly DRS Arriva, because it was Arriva Northern at the time, wasn't it? It's 1, 2, 3, and then a driver brake open standard on the back. Gives us a capacity of 104, which isn't too bad. I think 3 of them with a maintenance of 25, and that should all be good. That's line 1, isn't it? So that needs to be, this can actually be a really dark blue, can't it? And that is Northern, and it is, again, just need my map up really quick just to check my three letter codes. So it is Biff, Barrow-in-Furness to Preston, PRE, or maybe that should be Preston to Biff. Preston to Biff. Good. So we'll get that, put him on that. Northern, Preston to Barrow-in-Furness. He's obviously going to run to Preston on that line, but that's all fine. I'll schedule these 3 units, and then I think I will actually put that on the end. So I will add a journey. I know I usually like to have the journeys for my additional content for my Patreon supporters, but some of the shorter journeys like this one I will tag onto the end of this video. The last one for my Patreon supporters was Darlington down to Grantham, just revisiting that East Coast route because it really has dramatically changed since the last time I did that particular journey. So the longer journeys are just as a thank you to my Patreon supporters and a little bit of a bonus content for supporting the channel. But I will put this particular journey on the end of this video. But I'm just going to schedule these 3 trains, and then we will take a trip over the Cumbrian route, as far as Barrow-in-Furness anyway. Okie dokie, so we've got the 337 local hauled services now. Just one thing I just want to check before I leave you with the journey is the speed profile of the track. Now I noticed they do seem to be struggling to get up to speed. There was a particular little viaduct somewhere. I just want to make sure it's not the slow speed viaduct. Maybe that was, no, 186. Nope, that's more than fast enough. Just check. Maybe it is. Curve into Lancaster there, which is 60, which is fine because they're slowing down anyway. That's all fine. Maybe even just with only with the 4 cars, they are struggling with some of the terrain. Possibly it is quite hilly in this, or on this particular representation on the map anyway. It is quite hilly. It does eventually get up to about 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. I just want to pause the game because I think what I'll leave you with is the journey from actual Barrow-in-Furness as it leaves here. I'm going to pause the game. What I'm actually going to do with a little bit of camera trickery or editing trickery, I'm going to do a little bit of smoothing on this terrain, make sure it's all looking fine. I'm going to connect Barrow-in-Furness up because it hasn't got a road connection, and then I'm going to leave you with the journey from Barrow-in-Furness down to Preston aboard this local hauled service. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more work on this just so the journey looks a little bit nicer for you, but after that I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to say until next time, bye bye.